The Knicks sweep Cleveland in 4 games, their second straight sweep in the playoffs. After allowing the Knicks to come back from down 22 in the fourth quarter to win Game 1, the Cavs got blown out in every game, outscored by a combined 77 points. So James Harden was asked how much better the Knicks are after the series, and this was his response.
You know, obviously they dominated us 4-0, but yeah, I don't know if I can necessarily answer that question. Just because genuinely I do feel like we are the better team.
All right, we are the better team is going to be the headline. On this one, I'm going to defer to my players. I'm going to defer to you guys who played, because it's easy for me to sit here and say, what the hell are you talking about? You just got swept and your team basically gave up in the fourth game and all of that. How can you then say you're the better team? But I think maybe there is something in the mentality of the athlete that you have to be able to convince yourself of that in order to get to be where James Harden is. So I will defer to you. What do you think of him saying afterwards, I feel like we're the better team?
He did say in his defense that they got dominated in 4 games prior to that.
Which is evidence that would suggest they aren't the better team. Which is what I'm saying when I say that maybe you have to be you have to be a little crazy, right? You have to delude yourself into thinking that you're the better team anyway.
Out of anyone on this network, I am probably the biggest James Harden apologist, because I am from Houston, Texas, where he became an MVP and was extremely dominant. But in my soul, there's no way you can say you're the better team or your team is a better team when you get swept in the manner in which you got swept. And it's unfortunate. And on top of it, to say it when you know that in this series, you left much to be desired, that's tough. They were not the better team. And it was proven handily. And so I have a tough time agreeing. Now, when we go into games, we tell ourselves that. But after games, we have to face the reality and hear the music. And the music was loud. The music was a symphony. And so I can't agree. I understand the mentality. But at the end of the day, ball don't lie. And it really bounced in New York's favor.
I just, when I hear James talk, I feel like I know what it is. And I don't think James Harden is worried about what anybody thinks about James Harden. And I don't think anything that James Harden can say is going to change somebody's interpretation of James Harden. If you think James Harden plays a style of losing basketball, then you're going to feel that way. You're going to feel that way. It's going to be confirmed after this series. There was a part of me as a former player, even Donovan Mitchell's comments as well, when he backed James Harden up, at some point, you got to be in the trenches in the foxhole together. The rest of the world doesn't have to believe you, but you got to fight for each other. And if James Harden is coming back next year, I'm not saying what he said is right, because it's not on paper when we listen to it. But in that locker room, if you're coming back to that team, you want your teammates to believe in you and what you have to do the following year. And Donovan Mitchell felt the same way when he backed up James Harden in his post-presser too.
Windman, again, let's put the ribbon, if we will, on a Cavalier season. They did get to the conference final. They do wind up with a losing record in the playoffs, for whatever that's worth. They are, from what you've been telling me, Harden is coming back. That's signed, sealed, and delivered. So what does their future look like?
Yeah, they have 2 pathways they can go. One, they can sort of run this team back, maybe change Kenny Atkinson's coaching staff, go through a training camp, similar to what the Knicks did. Basically say we believe in this team and keep it going. 2, they could make major changes. They already made a major Harden trade, trading away one of their young all-stars, Darius Garland. They could examine trading away one of their other young players, either Jared Allen or Evan Mobley, which would be a major move. And when I was walking out on the court last night, as the Cavs fans were all yielding their arena to the Knicks fans, every single Cavs fan that passed me said, are we getting LeBron? Are we getting LeBron? The Cavs could only pay him $3 million as they're currently constructing. They could make moves to try to attract him, to try to trade for him, but those would be complex. But LeBron James will be an unrestricted free agent in a month.
What do you think, Wendy? Alan, if you were to put LeBron James, and again, I'm just playing fantasy basketball at this point. Yeah. If we were to put LeBron James at the age of what he'll be next year, 43, on that team, are they a legitimate threat to win the East next year?
I don't think so, mainly because, again, that backcourt struggles to defend. And James Harden really has to just look in the mirror on why they lost the series, because he's supposed to be one of their better players. He might have been one of their worst.
Yeah, it was not pretty for most of this.
Cleveland coach Kenny Atkinson makes the bold claim that the Cavs analytically are winning the series versus the Knicks. Now, of course, that is a fireable offense in and of itself, but to add to the Game 1 collapse in the Eastern Conference Finals, along with the quiet quit in Game 4, you get a team that should be looking for a new head coach, much in the same way the Knicks made the decision to fire Tom Thibodeau after their loss in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. Now, Daryl Morey, once upon a time, told Houston Rockets owner Tillman Fertitta that his team was winning the series or won the series analytically when doing the compare and contrast with the Golden State Warriors in the conference finals. And we know that that was the beginning of the end of that relationship between Daryl Morey and the Houston Rockets. It should be the same way with Kenny Atkinson. As much respect as I have for Kenny Atkinson as a coach, I think the Cleveland Cavs need to go in a different direction. The personalities in that locker room necessitate a different voice on the coaching staff and a different voice leading the organization, because Donovan Mitchell and James Harden absolutely have to be better in order to get the Cavs where they want to go. And the head coach has shown a reticence to be able to hold those individuals accountable. And if Kenny Atkinson can't hold his two best players accountable, then he should not be a head coach for that team.
1,000% agree with you. And Steve Kerr made some moves on his coaching staff in Golden State with Terry Stotts and Jerry Stackhouse no longer there. Kenny Atkinson was once there. Great situation. Go back. Lead assistant for Steve Kerr is where he makes sense right now. I'm not saying that to be insulting. He was so much better with the Nets than he was with the Cavs. CC, yes. You said it perfectly, okay? The reality is this. No one, not CC, not me, not Smalls, no one is suggesting don't use analytics. But use it privately to inform decisions within the team and coach your players with words and not numbers unless they are numbers based. Publicly, never bring it up. Just simply, let me insult myself. Me, as a media member, I'm not smart enough to understand what you're saying. I'm not, right? So just speak to me in a way that I understand it. We are down. We're getting opportunities that should help us, and we're not capitalizing. Simple as that.
Well, let's go back to what Josh Hart said about analytics. He says, they're lampposts to a drunk person. You can lean on them, but it won't get you home.
That's right.
I think a lot of times front offices, head coaches, managers, they think it's the answer to the test. It's predictive. It tells you how things are leaning. It can be helpful in decision making, but you cannot take the human element out of this. I think that's what we've learned in sports when it comes to analytics. Incredibly helpful. It's a tool. It's not the answer to the test. You can't lean on it 100%. And I think a lot of times people do that because they may not trust their own instincts. They might not trust their own decision making and going against what the numbers are telling them.
Can I ask you a quick
Y'all
analytic
notice
question,
how we
though?
only hear about the analytics when it doesn't work out for a team?
That's
When a
interesting.
team wins, we don't hear about the team saying, yeah, well, we're using these analytic models and we're doing all of these.
Yeah.
Right, so wait,
They
CC.
use analytics as a shield for criticism. And here's the reality around it. Like you said, Smalls, analytics is a tool. It's not the Bible.
No.
Just because the numbers say you should do something doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work out in your favor.